Now, today we are going to do a conditional execution. What does mean a conditional execution? So, for an example, at some point of time, we may require uh, to check the condition. For an example, if I ask you check the number whether the given number is odd or even, then what you have to do is you have to check. For an example, here I have given a number. Okay, the number is 2. Okay, or I ask you, okay, get write a program which asks the user for some random number. Okay, now user is entering some random number. Let us say 235 is entering. Now you have to you want to check whether whatever user has entered, whether that is even or odd. At all the times we might but not knowing what user has entered. Okay, so we have to check whether this is an even or odd number. So in this kind of scenario you might be requiring condition checking. Okay, so how to check this kind of conditions, we are going to learn that today. Okay, so first of all, I'll come this a little bit later. First of all, in programming, decision making is an important part. We check condition and we change our program accordingly, or we change our decision accordingly. So conditional statement give us this ability. The simplest form of the conditional statement is if statement. We can use if statement. It's very easy. Okay, what if will do? If we'll check whether, for example, if I enter some number, I can check whether the number is positive or not. I'm not concerning about negative or zero. I'm just checking whether the number is positive or not. So in this kind of scenario where I have to just check one condition, in that case I can use my if statement. Okay, how to use if statement? So to use the if statement, I will write if followed by my condition. Whenever you want to write your condition, you will need an operator here. This is known as operator. Whatever I return between x and 0 is my operator, and this decides which condition I am checking. For an example, if I want to check if x is 0, then I have to change this operator. If I want to check whether x is greater than or less than something, I can do that, and for that I can use this operators, and this all are known as comparison operator. Okay, the first one being is double equal to, which means if the value of two operands are equal, then the condition becomes true. That means if I want to check if x is 0, then I have to write if x equal to 0. Okay, the result will be true if x value is 0. The result will be false if x value is other than that. For an example, if x is 5 and if I am checking whether x is 0 or not, then I'll get a false. Okay, so this way I have this not equal to operation, greater than, less than, greater than equal to, and less than equal to. So this 6 operators are with us, comparison operators. How you can use it? In this way. For an example, here I am checking whether the number is positive or not. How I can check that? If x greater than 0, if 0 is if the number is greater than 0, that would be a positive number. I know that, so I am checking if x is greater than 0. Then if condition is true, then what will happen? Then actually your number is greater than 0. Okay, if your answer is true, what will happen? It will go inside and it will do the task given to this, given over here, or I can say given inside the body of my if. Okay, so let's have an example here. What I'm doing is I'm asking for some value from the user. Let us say I'm storing my number in a variable that is a. I hope this screen is visible to you. Okay, so I'm writing a is equal to input. Sorry, is equal to input. Okay, I'm printing some random message here. Enter random number. Now, once I enter this number, now there is a little bit issue over here. We have discussed on that issue. Whenever I use input, at that time, what will happen? Whenever I use input, at that time, if I enter some number, but the number is always stored in string type, so I have to convert that string into my integer. So I will use a typecasting function. So you can do typecasting like this. Okay. So I have done typecasting. I have converted my string into integer. Then I am checking whether the number is positive or not. So I will write if a is greater than 0, and then if it is true, if my condition at all is true, what I should do? So I should print a message that number is positive. So I'll write positive number. Let's run this code and see what happens. I'm running this code. Okay. See, the code is running. It is asking me enter some random number. I am entering some number. It is 562. So it gives me a positive number. Again, I am running enter some random number minus 56. Sorry, that's bad typo. So as soon as I enter minus 56, nothing is printed. Why? Because minus 56 is a negative number, and that's why this condition, if a greater than 0 condition, will fail and it will not go inside and it will not print this message. Okay. To make it clear, let us print one more end of program. Excuse me. Okay. So here I am printing end of program directly. Why? Because number is not positive or number is negative. So this is the way we can use if statement. Now what if I want to do more than one task? Here I am, if the number is positive, here I am only printing one simple line. But instead of that, suppose I want to print more than one line. I want to print great. I can do that. See, now it will print two lines. So here I can write as long code as I want. If my condition is true, then I have to follow this code. Okay, but I have to define that body, and to declare that body we use indentation. I will show you that indentation over here. You can see this blank space before this print. So this blank space are nothing but indentation. जब आप tab use करें हम keyboard पर, that's that. So this space defines which is the part of if loop, which is the part of if statement, and which is not part of if. For an example, if this condition is true, we have printed these two lines. But if the condition was false, we were only printing the single last line end of the program. So how, see, this three looks identical. Then how that three are different? Like these two are not printed, but this one is printed, because this two line of code is inside the if statement and this one is outside the if statement. That's why if condition is false, this will print. If condition is true, then also this will print. But if condition is true, then it will go inside and it will print this additional two lines. And this is nothing body of my if. So how to write a body of any, like whether be it if or else or for loop or while loop, whenever you are using any loop or any if statement or conditional execution checking statements, at that time you have to declare its body. Earlier in C programming, if you have studied C programming at all, you were using this kind of cursive brackets, but curly brackets are not the option with Python. Instead of that, what you have to do here is you have to use an indentation. For an example, this one. Okay. Now here, whenever I follow some indentation, until and unless I do not complete this indentation. For an example, here for first line I will use indentation, second line again same indentation, same space બંને જગ્યાએ છોડેલી છે, બરોબર છે. તો then this is same indentation. So this is part of same if statement. But if I change this indentation like this, then this is outside this body. This is something else. Okay, so you have to follow this indentation. Okay, for an example, let us check if number is greater than or equal to 0. We will check that if number is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, if it is greater than or equal to 0, we can say number is positive. Great, but I want to check if number was 0, then I can again do it inside my first if. So I am going if inside if, and I am checking it. If a is equal to 0, okay, then colon, you have to put a colon. Then I am writing print number is 0. Okay, so now you will see a different indentation is available at this point. So this shows this line is part of this if statement. So whenever you change the indentation, accordingly your context will change or your body will change. So for this if, now if I consider this if, this all or this all part is body of the same if. But if I consider this if a equal to 0, then body of this if is only this part. Okay. Now let us run this code and check what happens. I am entering first number to be 56. Positive number, great, end of program. I'll again run this program. I'll enter 0. So it has printed positive number, great. Again it has go inside here. Again it is checking whether the number is 0. Yes, number is 0. That's why it's printed number is 0. So number is 0. So this is how your if statement is used and how you can use this indentation. Clear? As we go ahead and we will see more example, then indentation will be better like, understood by you. Like right now it may be difficult, but later on you will understand it in better way. Okay, so this is the first basic if statement. Then see, this is the indentation. Indentation refers to the space at the beginning of a code line, where in other programming languages the indentation is code is for readability only. The indentation in Python is very important. You cannot misplace it. Like first line, before first line I have put a 3 space, and in second line I have put a 4 space. So it is different indentation, and program will generate an error. Let us see that. See, I'll put an extra space over here. I will run this. See, indentation error, unexpected indent. So
सर
this kind of
पाइथन
error
पाइथन
generates.
स्पेस सेंसिटिव है सर इसलिए
Yeah, it's space sensitive. Space sensitive.
सेंसिटिव
Correct, correct. So Python uses indentation to indicate a block of code. For an example, first example. See here, this indentation, this white space. So this is a body of this statement. Same way, one more example. Here what I have done, I have just removed this white space between the C is equal to AB. So what will happen now? Here, the body is only this part and C is out of the body. So this line is out of the body of if. Okay. So if I execute this program, I will get C is equal to 0. 5, 6 and 0 is the value of A, B and C. If A is greater than B, what I am going to do? C is equal to A plus B. Okay, so here A is 5, base 6, so condition is false, so I will directly print C. So a single line print is C equal to 0. Same program, just I have removed the indentation before this C. Immediately my output will change and C will become 11. Why? Because this program, this A greater than B condition is false. Then it will come next. This is not part of it, so it will execute this without any condition. So it will get 5 plus 6, 11, and 11 will be printed. So that's the difference. Okay. Then this was the first conditional execution, if statement, or you can say a single condition check. Then at some point of time you may require to take either or kind of decision, either this or that. Okay, in that kind of situation, you will need alternative execution. And to do that, we use if-else statement. Okay, for an example, odd even. To find out the number is odd or even, we can do this. If my remainder is 0, that means number is, if my remainder is 0, number is even. If remainder is not 0, number is odd. So you can do that like this. Okay, let's see an example here only. Now I want to check whether the number is odd or even. So user is entering some random number. I want to find out whether the number is odd or even. What I'll do, I'll write if percentage. Why percentage? To find out the remainder, I'll use percentage. Okay. જે આપણે ગુજરાતીમાં કહે છે ને કે શેષ શોધી શેષ કેટલી રહી તો કે 1 રહી એમ 11 ને 2 થી ભાગું તો 5 is the main answer, but other than that મને એક remainder મળે 1 or શેષ મળે જેને આપણે શેષ કહીએ છીએ. That 1 is important. If you get 1, that means the number is odd or even. It is odd number. And if the number is even, we'll get 0 as a remainder. So I'll check that. How? I'll divide number a with 2. One is unmuted in the chat. Now I will check if remainder. See, when I do this, let us do that first. I'm going to do a percentage 2 to print remainder here. Not reminder. No issue. Let us see it as a R. And then I am going to execute my program. So if a percentage 2 is equal to 0, then if my remainder is 0, that means my number is even. So I'll print even number. If that's not the case, then I have to write with the alternate option. If the number is not even, obviously it would be an odd number. There is no other third choice. So I can be directly sure that the number is odd. Sorry. So this is my program. Now let's run this program. I'm asked enter some random number. Let us enter 23. Okay. So you can see here when 23 is divided by 2, I'll get 1 as a remainder. That means this is an odd number. So you can see a percentage 2. What will it will give? It will give you remainder. So 1 is remainder, and that 1 equals 0. No, it is not that like that. So it will directly go to the else part, and it will execute this print odd number, and it will print odd number. Okay. Let's run it one more time, with this time with 20. Okay, you can see remainder is 0. So 0 equals 0, correct? That's why this is an even number. This is how your if else or your alternative execution works. Here now there might be need to have then one check, like if a given number is positive, negative or 0, it is possible that you might want to check this kind of condition. So this is known as a chain condition. More than 2 possibilities. Okay, see this. For 2 number you can do that. If x is less than y, x is greater than y, or both numbers are equal, you can do that. So how to do this? Let us do it with an example of number is positive, negative or a 0. Okay, so I am asking a user for some random number. Now I'll first check if number is greater than 0. So I'll check if a is greater than 0. If this is true, what I have to print? Number is positive. If this is false, This is not true. What I have to do? I have to check for negative or 0. I have to check it again. See, there is still two possibilities. Firstly, we have three possibility: positive number, a negative number, or a 0. But now, as I have executed it one time, I now know whether the number is positive or not. But once I discard the positive scenario, still I have left with two options, and that two options are a number can be a negative or number can be a 0. So I have to check it again, like if a is less than 0. But do this in the same chain, I cannot use if again. So instead of that, I will use elif. So I'm going to check the condition one more time. If a is not greater than 0, so so if a is less than 0, if this is true, then I'll say number is negative. It is possible, still I may be wrong. Number might not be a positive, might not be a 0. Number is 0 itself. In that case, I have only now left with third possibility, so I can directly put it in else, and I can say number is 0. The chain example. You can have more than this, more than one elif you can have. No issue in that. See, I'm entering some random number. Let us say I'm entering 56. Number is positive. I'm running this code again. I'm entering 0 now. So number is 0. I'm running this code again. I'll enter -5. Number is negative. Okay. Now it is possible to check more than three conditions. Like I can have 5, 10 conditions. You can use elif as many times as you want, but at the end you have to have one else. Okay. Like you can check whether the number is belong to 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 11, or 11 to 12. You can do that. How your chain condition work. So this is one more example. Whether number is less than x or less than y, or both number are equal. So this is one more example of elif. Okay. And elif is nothing but the short form of else if. Clear? Any questions? I hope you are
No,
getting
sir.
it. Okay, so now we can move forward, and there is one more type of conditional execution, and that is nested condition. A nested if is an if statement that is the target of another if statement. That means it is if inside if inside if. Statement means an if statement inside another if statement, like this. See, first I am checking if x and y both are equal. If it is yes, print equal. Okay. But if that two are not equal, again I can check whether x is less than y. If still yes, I'll print less. If still I'll get no, print greater. So this is first if and this is second if. But here you see the first if is inside the second if. Okay, so this is my first if. Sorry, the second is if inside the first one. But earlier that was the chain. Here see that two are not part of each other. Okay, here what we're doing, yes, then it will print this. Otherwise, it will go ahead. It will check for the one more condition. It will check for one more condition. But here, what we are doing, if yes or no, depending on that, yes or no, we are going once again inside. Once again, we are checking whether yes or no. Okay, so this is if inside if. When I write this, you will understand. See here, I have written else, then inside this else, see there is a big indentation. So this is part of your else. So this whole part is of else. So this whole is part of this else. It is inside the else. So that is different than the earlier one. Okay. So how you can execute this? So you can do this. If x equal to y, then inside else I can have one more if or else. inside this if you can have one more if. This is a nested condition. Clear? Now any question in this if else elif and nested condition, if inside if? Any question?
No, sir.
Because we are done with the conditional execution, then we'll move ahead with the loops. If you have any question, you can ask me right now. No questions. Okay. Then we will move ahead. These are the logical operators. Now let us have an example of this. What are the logical operator and how you can use that logical operator? For an example, a situation is given. You have been asked. You enter some random number and you have been asked. I print a message if number is in between 0 to 10. What you have been asked? If print a message if number is between 0 to 10. Okay. So here what you can do is first I can start with if my number was a, so I can check if a is greater than a is greater than 0. Okay, print number is between 0 to 10. There is an issue with this code. If I run this and if I enter 20, then also it will show number is between 0 to 10. Okay, so you have to take care of this. So once you do this, you have to do if inside if the first condition is true, so I have checked the bottom condition, like it must be greater than 0. I have done that, but now the number must be less than 10 as well. So what I can do is if a less than 10, then and then print this message. So now if I run this code, now if I enter 20, nothing will be printed. I will run again. I'll enter 10, nothing is printed. I'll enter 8, and number is between 0 to 10. So this is an example of nested if. But what if I want to check this two condition in single if statement? I want to check this as well as this in the single if statement. How can I do that? To do this kind of thing, you have to use this logical operators, and or not. Okay, so what this logical operator will do, this logical operator will do check two condition at the same time. For an example, like this, see there are two conditions. First condition a greater than 0, second condition a less than 10. Now let us say a is 5. So if a is 5, this condition will true, this condition will be true as well. So if both the condition are true, then I can say number is between 0 to 10. Okay, but if let us say number was 20, then this condition is true, but this condition is false. If number is, let us say, uh, -5, number was -5, in that case this condition is false, but this condition is true. So there is only one possibility when both the condition is true, when the number is between 0 to 10. So you can perform this task in single if statement like this. What you have to do, if both are true, then and then your answer will be true. So we are going to use logical operator and in between. So we will use a logical operator and. So what this operator will do, it will check whether the first condition and second condition, both were true, then and then the final answer is true. If one is true and one is false, immediately my logical AND operation will get me a false. So this is how you can use logical AND operator to check more than one condition at the same time. Now how to write this? So you can simply write AND in between. For an example here, I can simply write A and D, and here I'll run this code again, and what is the error? Okay, I am entering number 5. See, number is between 0 to 10. I am running it again. I'll enter 12. Nothing is printed. Why? This condition is true, and this condition is false. So true and false. So I'll get false. So this won't be printed. This is how your logical operators can be used. Same way, sometimes you can use OR operator. Sometimes you may require NOT operation. So this was an example of logical operators. Okay. Any questions?
No, sir.
No questions at all. Okay. So now we can move ahead with the next part. And next part is iteration. Here. Okay. Mir has done something great, but we are not requiring right now. Right. Okay. So this is about logical operators and how you can use it along with your if one else. You might not require it with else, but you can use it with elif. Now we'll move ahead with the iterations. And there are mainly two iterative statements, first one being while and the second one being for. So we'll complete this while and for today. So first of all, what a while loop is and what a for loop is. So first we'll go with a while. So while is something which repeat as long as a certain condition is met. For an example, uh, until and unless the sun sets, I can play cricket. Okay, until and unless sunrise, I can sleep. This, so some condition is not met. Until that condition is not satisfied, I can do some task. This is an example of while. Or in this kind of situation, you can use a while. Okay, how to write that? That's great question. How to write that? So let's see an example. How to write a while loop? Let us say I want to print some number, or I want to print 1 to 5. What I want to do is I want to print number 1 to number 5 in Python. Okay, so I'll start with number 1, but I do not want to do like this. Otherwise, what can I do is I can write print 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5. I can do that, but I do not want to do it like that. I want to use some technique to do this. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll use some variable first. Let us say I'll start with 1. Okay, now until my variable becomes 6, I can print this number. So what I will do is while a is less than, uh, let's get it in better way. While a is less than 6, I can print. If I run this, it is going to blow off. See, so I have to stop it somewhere. Okay, what it has done? It is continuously printing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Why? Because my value of a is 1. While a is less than 1, I want to print a. Still, it will come again. It will again check. The value is still 1. Again, it will execute. Again, it will come again here. Again, it will check. So here, I am going to update my value with a equal to a plus 1. So once this execution is done, so what it will do is, so here what this program will do, so this program, now this program initially when I start this program, I'll start from this line, so it will start with a equal to 1, then it will come in here, it will check whether a is less than 6, so 1 less than 6, what will get, will get true. Immediately it will come to next line, next line will print a, so it will print 1, then it will go to next line, a equals a plus 1, that means whatever is value of a plus 1, that will be stored into a. So now the value of a is 2, again a is 2, again it will go here to check the conditions, if still a is less than 6, yeah, again I'll get true, again I'll print a. What is the value of a now? The value of a is 2, so again 2 is printed. Now again a equal to a plus 1 will be executed, so now 2 plus 1, so value of a is 3, again you will go back 4 5, when it becomes 5, 5 less than 6, so again true, I'll print 5, again it will come back 5 plus 1, so it will become 6, again it will go back 6 less than 6, immediately this will be false. As soon as this falls, as soon as this condition does not match, immediately this while would be stopped and my cursor will come to the immediate next line, whatever is here after the body of while, this is the body of while, it will come after this and it will execute the next line of code. This is how while loop will
Sir, I
work.
have a doubt.
Sorry,
Sir,
your voice is a little bit shaky.
plus one.
Can you come again? Sorry,
यस
Shivam.
सर, यहाँ पे जो फोर्थ लाइन पे
Fourth line. Yeah, a equal to a plus 1.
यस सर, यहाँ पे सर एज ए प्लस वन की वैल्यू वेरिएबल में स्टोर होगी और जो स्टार्टिंग जो एग्जीक्यूशन है हमारे इक्वल्स टू 1, तो यहाँ पे सर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट नहीं अकर होगा पाइथन में?
Why it will conflict? Whenever you use
बिकॉज
equals, whenever you use equals, we have discussed earlier. What is this? It is the operator. What that operator will do? That operator will assign the value to the variable on left hand side. So whenever this line execute at that time, this value will be assigned to this variable. Okay, so first before the assigning value, it must have to evaluate what is the value, so it will start to evaluate. When it start to evaluate, it will get this value of a first, so immediately it will get 1. Okay, then it will do
यस
1
सर.
1 2. Okay, now it does not know there was a here, it just know the value, what is the value of this operation, it's 2, and that 2 will be directly stored to a now. So it is just an override operation, it won't create any effect on the program. You can see it over here. If I run this program, I am easily getting 1 2 3 4 5. Even I can
राइट
do it
सर.
with step 2, it will increment in step of 2, no issue in that.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
How you can use a while loop. Any questions in while loop? Any
नो
question?
सर.
Okay, so here this is one more example. Here I'm going downwards, like while n is greater than 0, I am printing n for whatever number I am starting. I'll just print n until n is 0. So this is the program for that, whether be it 5 10 20, whatever number is there, it will start from the number you give until the number becomes 0, it will print that number. Okay, so this is the example of that. Then there is the for loop. So the first statement in Python has the ability to iterate over the item of any sequence such as a list or a string. This is important. It can iterate on a list or a string. Okay, but you cannot directly give some random numbers, but it can iterate only on list or a string. So before studying that, we must know one more command I am using over here, that is a range. So let's go through range first. So first, let us understand the range command. And without for loop, I am not going to without for loop, we cannot understand the range command. So how to write a for loop? To write a for loop, I can write for I. Okay, what is I? We can directly literally read the Python as I write. So I'm going to write for I in range. Okay, uh, if you do not understand something, let it be as of now. I'll explain you everything. Okay, I'm just writing for I in range 5. Okay, and I'm going to print the value of I. Okay, I'll run this code and we'll see the answer. So it is printing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically, what a range command do? First thing, the first question is set. Whenever I use a range command, so range command will produce a list with a given number. For an example, if I write range, sorry, this is not the correct spelling. If I write range 5, it will produce a list. What is list? We will discuss it later, but it will produce something like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not 5. It will go up to 4. Okay. So if I write range 5, it will always start with 0. It will increment by 1 until it reaches 5, but not 5. So range will be go up to the number inside a bracket, but not the number included itself. So here the number is 5, but 5 is not included. Okay. So this is the meaning of range. If I write, for an example, range 2, what I'll get is 0 and 1. If I write range 10, what I'll get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, not 10. Okay, this number of elements are 10, but 10 itself is not included. Here number of elements are 2, but 2 itself not included. Okay, this is a range command. So right now I am writing a for loop. So what I write for I in range 5. I have written like this. Okay. I have written like this. So actually you can read it like this. So actually you can read it like this. Why is it? Eraser is not there. Just a moment. Okay. So here it literally means like this: I in 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. For I in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then what I have done? I have write print I. So what this loop will do? It will take value of I starting from 0 up to 4 one by one. So first it will take I as 0, secondly it will take I as a 1. So initially when for loop start, I'll print 0. Then again it will come back. Now it will take the second element. It will take print 1, print 2, print 3, 4. Okay, so it will literally print 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. If I change this number, let us say 2, it will only get me 0 and 1. Clear? Now here of print I can print anything. For an example, I can print hello. You have been asked write a program to print hello 5 times. So you can do this. I put 5, run this program, will print 5 hello times. How I have done that? I know when I write range 5, it will get me value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That are total 5 elements. It will take I will take each value one by one 5 times. So first it will become 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I want to print I, or I do not want to print I. That is my choice, but I can print hello. Okay. Now this execution, this line of code of execution will take 5 times. So it will rotate 5 times. It will iterate through 5 times. I know that. So I can print hello using for loop like this. So this is how you write a for loop. And there are more than one version of the range. This is just a single simple example of range. See here what I have done is I have used for I in range 5. Let me give you this same example. Okay. Here I am using the same. Okay. And I am printing value of I each time. Value of I. And then comma I am writing I as a variable. Now see, I can put this like I as a variable. First, this is my text message and this is my actual value. So if I run this, I'll get my value of I as a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, one by one. Okay. As I explained you here, it will take this values one by one. There is one more example, but this is on string. For an example, uh, this was list, but I can do this on a string. So if I put this like this and I change, let us say Python. So this is a string and my value of I would become, now first it will become P, then become Y, then become T, then H, O and N. If there is space EE283, even it will take a value of space. You can see here. Okay, Python space EE283. So this is how a for loop will run. So the first statement is Python. For that, Python has ability to iterate over the items of any sequence, such as a list or a string. It can be a list or it can be a string. But what you have used to done, like conditional execution of for I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, that kind of for is not available here. Either you can run it on a range or directly a list or a string. That two possibilities are there. And we'll see that later on, like how you can use that. So here I was using one keyword, this in was a keyword with for. So the in keyword is used to check if a value is present in a sequence. This is the first use, and the second use is the in keyword is also used to iterate through a sequence in a for loop. So we were using this in this way. We'll see the example of the first purpose also at some point of time. I'm not right now going inside it. Then we come to a range command. So as I have explained you, range 3 means 0, 1, 2. Okay, but there are more than one parameter to range. The actual syntax of range is like this: range, start, stop, and step. See, it has three parameters: start parameter, stop parameter, and step parameter. Let's take it down here. Whenever I can write a range, I will have three parameters. First is start, second one is stop, and third one is step. Okay. Let us say I put 1 here, 5 here, and 1 here. So what does that mean? I'll start with number 1, I'll stop at number 5, and I'll take step size of 1. So my first number will become 1, second one is 2, and 3, and 4. And I'll stop before 5. So 5 is not part of my list. If you are not using a default version, though you are stopping at 5, but you will only get 4 elements. Okay. Same way, let's take one more example. I am starting with 2, I am getting up to 10 with the step size of 3. So first number, I'll start with 2, 2 plus 3 5, 5 plus 3 8, 8 plus 3 11, but I have to stop at 10, so this is not part of my list. So my output will be 2, 5 and 8. So if I run a for loop with this range parameters 2, 5, 8, then I'll 2, 10, 3, then I'll only get three numbers, that 2, 5 and 8. So this is a syntax of your range. What we were using up to now, that was default. There are two variant of the range. If you just put a single number over here, it is the default version of range, and that default version has this two distinct value default, that is start is always 0 and step is always 1. Whatever you declare here is your stop point. So if I write range 5, what we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you can see start is with 0, step is 1, and it will stop at number defined over here. The number is 5, that's why it has stopped at 4. This is the range command. I can use this range command in different way. This is the example of different example. The first one here I have used print range 3 just to show that this is the output. For I in range 3, print I equal to I. So for this I'll get 0, 1, 2. If I use range 2, 5, I am only passing two parameters, which two? Start point and stop point. So my start point is 2 and stop point is 5. So I'll get 2, 3 and 4. So you can see here 2, 3 and 4. Again now three parameters 1, 6 and 2. I'll get 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, here step size is 2. That's why I'll get 1, then 3 and then 5. And then I'll stop. Okay. This is the three different example of range. So this is your programming and this is your output. This is the screenshot of output. Okay. This is one more example 172. So what would be the value I am getting is 1, 3 and 5. One more example here. I am going in reverse order. I am starting with number 10, stopping at 0, and minus 2 is this f size. So it will start with 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Then it will become 0, but 0 is excluded. See, though I am going in opposite direction, whatever is the stop position, it will stop at stop minus 1. Okay, so it will stop at before 0 here. So as 0 is part of this list, but it is a stop point, so it will end at 2 only. Okay, so this is how you can use a range command. I am not going in this break command right now, neither this continue, we'll cover it in later. And we have completed this functions. We have completed print, we have completed input, typecasting, integer, float, string, if else, elif, nested if, while, for, range and in. If you have any questions related to topic covered, you can ask the questions. If you have any questions, you can raise the questions. Krunal was asking a question, can you run this program in Python shell? Krunal, which program are you talking about? Yeah, Krunal.
While loop, sir.
While loop can be run in Python shell, no issue. I'll give you a demo. This workstation does not
Okay.
have Python. I have to remote my workstation. Just a moment. Be it while loop or for loop or any other thing. If it has a body, you can run it in Python shell. For an example here, if I say a is equal to 1, okay, and I'll write while a less than 5. As soon as I press enter, this triple cursor will no want to appear, but instead of that, it will go inside the body, that write a body. So now I'll write my body, that print a Press enter again. Again it will ask if there is a second line. I can enter the second line. I will press enter again. It is asking for third line. If I do not have third line, I will press enter. As soon as I press enter, it will execute this 3 line of code. Okay, so this is my answer 1 2 3 4. Same way I can do with for loop for I in range 10 to 23 comma 3. Then I can write print I. Okay, so you can run this codes on Python shell also, no issue in that. Anyone else? Any questions in this topics? These are the topics covered. Okay, no questions. Yeah, there is a comment. For loop with else. What does that mean here? For loop with else. Mihir, can you be a little clear? Yes, Mihir. Right.
Lah, बंद कराओ.
Mihir, I'm not able to hear you. Your voice is very shaky. Nothing to worry. Just let me know the questions in my chat box directly. Send me personal message. We'll discuss over there. No issue. Any other questions? Okay, so yeah, there's one more comment. Okay, so we complete our lecture, today's lecture here. Now, before going off, I need two information from your side. The student of DCE,